Hello and welcome to Video Scrapbook. I'm the host, David Stevens. Joining me today is Mr. Tom Newbold. He's going to share some pictures and some stories behind them with us. Tom, welcome to Video Scrapbook.
It's a pleasure to be here. One of the things I would like to do at the beginning is tell you how you can be in contact with me. My name is Tom Newbold. I live at 93 Robinson Road in Highland Heights, Kentucky, 41076. I have a telephone number, 859-441-7924. And I share that with my wife, Marcy, and she uses that for business, so don't be surprised if they answer, hello, this is Marcy. Thomas.newbold@twc.com. And if you'd like to be on this show, contact us, and we'll come out to your house and look at your pictures and things like that, and let's see if you might be a good candidate for the show. So that's how we're going to start, okay?
Excellent.
Okay. Our first slide today is showing an 18-generation chart that we have. Now this shows my family on the Newbold side back to the 1400s. And those numbers beside it there that are written in are showing what the birth order of each of the family members was. And as you'll notice, there's about 9 of them there that were firstborn, which is what I was, firstborn.
Okay.
So that shows you I've done a lot of history on our family. And next, we have a picture of my great-great-grandfather. His name was Philip Newbold. He was born in England, and what happened is he came over here, unfortunately, in 1861. And so when he landed in the United States, he immediately found that he was involved in the Civil War. He was in the north, since that's where the job was located. The one that he had was near Columbus, Ohio. And so he became a cook in the Army. And he served in the Army, and we've got his discharge papers and how much money he earned and things like that. He was quite a fisherman. His name was Flipjack. That's what they called him.
Okay.
And he's my great-grandfather.
Yeah, bad timing, but fortunately he was on the right side of history.
Yes, he was. All through no fault of his own. Okay, my grandparents and my parents on my mother's side are Ethel and Claude Harold, and they are pictured here. On this picture, Ethel, it's one of the few pictures we have of Ethel, and Claude, as you can see, was very thin in this picture. Now, when I knew him, he weighed over 300 pounds, so this is, I find this such a strange picture of him when he was actually thin.
I can imagine.
Yes. Now, on my father's side of the family, there is my grandfather, and he is here on the Kelly truck. This is the first fire truck that they got in Kenton, Ohio. Kenton, which is different than Canton, Ohio, where the Football Hall of Fame is. This is right. Kenton, Ohio, up north there. And he drove the truck, and one of the reasons he drove the truck is because he found that he was the only person that knew how to operate everything on that truck. So for the first few times that they took the truck out, they had to have him drive the truck to the fires. Okay? Mm-hmm. And next is my grandma Bessie. This shows that no matter what you do, there's a permanent record that follows you around. And this is 1907, 1908, her junior year in high school. And this shows her grades for all the different subjects way back when. So follows you around no matter where you are.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But she had some pretty good marks, it looks like.
Yes, she did. And this next picture is of my mother. This is a picture of her when she was in college, and this is another picture of her also taken when she was in college. And then here is a picture of her with my grandfather. This is beside their house, which is in MacArthur, Ohio. As you can see, he's real thin here. I never knew him when he looked like that. And then next is a picture of my grandmother. This is Ethel Sowers. And this is one of the few pictures I have of her. She was sick most of her life, but she outlived Claude, her husband, by a few years.
Okay.
And then we come to our next picture, which is of my father. This is taken of him, and you can see he had very curly hair.
Yeah, very curly.
Very curly hair. And I had very curly hair when I was younger, too.
At one time, huh?
Yes, at one time, but not anymore. Okay. And my father was a track star when he was in high school. He was ran low hurdles, high hurdles, 100-yard dash, the four-person mile, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a picture of him running in high school, the low hurdles. Okay. And then in another picture I have of him is when he went to Ohio State. Now, one of the reasons I am where I am today is because my father did go to Ohio State. He got a chance to go to college. And here you see how muscular he is when he was running track in college. And he ran track with Jesse Owens and people like that. Now, they weren't on the track team, but they would practice with a track team then. And that caused him then, because of the war, he was able to go to Columbia and Harvard and get a master's degree in those things.
Some fine schools.
Yes. And this is a picture of my father in high school, and beside him is a woman who he later married.
Okay.
Her name is Bessie Ash in this picture here. And this picture is of the best male athlete. That was my father, and she was the best female athlete.
Okay.
And they met 50 years later at their class reunion, and she was a widower by that time, and my father was divorced, and so they ended up getting married. And this is the only picture of them at high school.
Yeah, in their primes.
In their primes. And this picture here is of my mother and my father when they were in college at Ohio State University. And she always called this my photo with him. And here she is. In this picture, my father is now in the Navy, and she is getting engaged here in this picture.
Okay.
This is a picture of their engagement. And then the next picture here is of my parents when they got married. On the left there is Claude and Ethel Sowers. Harold, which is on my mother's side, and then on my father's side is Bessie and Fred Newbold.
Okay.
Okay. Now this next picture is kind of one I really like, and that's of my mother pregnant with me.
There you go.
This is at 840 Brown Street where they lived, just as about a block from the hospital where they had to go to have me. And then this next thing here is my birth certificate. And my birth certificate shows that I weighed 7 pounds, 6 ounces, and I was born at 12:50 p.m. on October 6, 1946. And it was the first game of the World Series, and St. Louis, Boston won the game, but St. Louis won the World Series that year. And here is the bill. My mother stayed 5 days in the hospital, and the total bill for all 5 days was $74.71.
Yeah, that's went up quite a bit since then.
Yes, things have gone up, and it even shows that they had even gone up. The room went up from $6.50 a day to $8 a day. Okay, but anyway, they would never
Yeah.
get even close to this. They got stuff on there that costs more than $74 that you
absolutely.
don't even know about. On the air and finding out whether you could be on Video Scrapbook. So this is the end of part 1, and we'll say goodbye until next time.
Thank you.